by Tommy Wright, Phillips again, and Sunderland has...
Kevin Ball holds that trophy aloft for the second time.
Hello all, how are we all getting on? Long time no speak. Due to these shite international breaks, I absolutely hate them. But I don't think there's any more now till March, so we'll have a good run at these videos. So, match preview of our up-and-coming game on Saturday at the Den against Millwall. First of all, though, I just wanted to tidy up a little bit of news. On the club website, there's the club are running a competition where you can ask Chris Rigg a question. I think it's a kind of little competition. You just get on the site, click on the link, submit your question, and they're going to pick some out and submit them to Chris at some kind of talk-in later on. So I think I'd ask him probably something stupid like, if you were playing FIFA, or if you play FIFA, do you play as Sunderland? And if so, who's the first player you sell? I think that'd be a quite interesting little question for him. But I'll drop the link in the description below if you want to just have a look in and submit the question. Also, the club also caught up with Carl Winchester earlier on this month, I think, talking about his time at Sunderland and what have you. And he said how proud he is to have played for in his words, the biggest club in the EFL. So proud, and in them dark days of League One, I loved Winnie Esther as he was. Always gave 100%. Wore his heart on his sleeve and gave everything for the shirt. And as a fan, that's all we can ask for. And he described scoring at the Stadium Light was an absolutely fantastic feeling. Every son and kid's dreaming to actually do it in front of the fans. He was, just full of praise and just happy and so proud he played for the club. So again, it's on the club website. Little bit of a catch up. I thought it's a nice little article to read and just shows you an insight of how these type of players who couldn't believe they got to sign for such a big club like Sunderland. Now Jobe as well. Now I have said in recent videos how impressed I've been with Jobe this season, like a different player compared to last season, and his numbers kind of back that up. He's played 1,338 minutes, only missing the last 3 because of suspension. Successful passes 394. His pass accuracy is at 87.2%. He's won 80 duels. He's got a dribble success of 76.9. Recoveries 68, which is really good. Tackle success 67.7%. He's won 21 tackles. An average match rating of 7.34. Like I say, absolutely different player to the back end of last season. He looks bigger, he looks stronger, and he's bossing that midfield, and just shows these last 2 games that he hasn't played, we've missed him. He scored 2 goals, of course. Scored the first goal in the 2-0 home win against Oxford. But, the best of them was that long range strike against Derby County. What a strike. Right the top left-hand corner. Fantastic effort. And that kind of form earned him a call up to the under-21s in this last break, where he played 2 games. I think he played the 0-0 draw with Spain and the 1-1 draw with Holland, and he put in 2 fantastic performances. And considering he's 19, playing for under-21s, it just adds another few £1 million on his price tag, and it's brilliant for him. I love to see players blossom and get better. But for us as a club, it's a worrying sign, because there's already reports that Borussia Dortmund are looking at him, and they're going to prepare a bid for him. But maybe it's all paper talk. I'd love to see him stay till the end of the season and beyond. But we all know, if money talks, and if in January a massive bid comes in, the chances are that Jobe, could be on his way to Borussia Dortmund. But we'll have to wait and see. I really hope it's not. Like I say, ideal world, I'd love to see him stay here. We get promoted, he hasn't season was in the Premier League, and then see what happens from there. But we'll just have to wait and see how that one plays out. But at this moment in time, Jobe is an absolutely massive player for us in that midfield. Also, there's been 5 games moved in the early part of 2025 for television coverage. So you can see on the screen here. So Friday is 7th of January at 8 o'clock, we'll now play Burnley away. Monday the 3rd of February at 8 o'clock, it's Borough away. Saturday 8th of February, 12:30, it's Watford at home. Monday, 17th of February, 8 o'clock, Leeds away. And then Saturday, 22nd of February, 12:30, it's Hull City at home. So those 5 fixtures have been switched for television coverage. When you're top of the league, you know, Sky obviously want to put you more on the box, so this is what's happened. Doesn't really help us fans when you're trying to plan and prep stuff, but it is what it is. So just a note for your diary, them 5 games have been moved. But on to Millwall, and like I said, down to the Den, 3,000 of you will be making that trip, nearly 600-mile round trip to the Den. You know what a class set of fans you really are. You know, you follow us everywhere. Coming towards Christmas, another massive away trip, but hopefully you'll get to see us get back to winning ways after 3 successive draws. But this is going to be yet another tough ask against the Millwall side who are going really, really well under Neil Harris. Harris is a Millwall legend. He played 432 games for them, scored in 2 spells, scored 138 goals. He's now having his 3rd spell in manager. He had 3 games in charge between 2013 and 2014 as caretaker. Then he had 4 years in charge between 2015 and 2019, managing 245 games and a win percentage of 41%. He then took charge again in February this year after spells at Cardiff, Gillingham and Cambridge. In his latest spell, he's managed 30 games, won 15, drew 7 and lost 8. You know, he's a vastly experienced manager. He's got 444 games in management, and with a win percentage of nearly 40%, you know, he knows the game inside out, and especially the Championship. Like I say, he spent a lot of years with Millwall, and it stood him in good stead. And they are going really well at the minute. They only have 1 defeat in the last 10 games, unbeaten in 7, winning 4 and drawing 3. They beat Burnley and Leeds in the last 2 home games as well. So like I said earlier, this is going to be a really, 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 really tough game. Following this good run of form, the company sit 8th in the league on 23 points, 2 points outside of the playoffs and 8 points behind us at the top. They are really good at home as well. They've won 5 of the 8 games at the Den this season, drawing 1 and losing only 2, conceding only 6 goals in the process. You know, and we know they've also got ex-Sunderland players in the squad. George Honeyman and Duncan Watmore, you know, 2 players who were at Sunderland for quite a while. You know, Duncan Watmore came through the ranks, and he was a bit of a hitty missy. You know, there was always the famous saying, if you open the doors at the stadium, like, he'd probably sit down and run straight out of them. But he always gave his all, and he scored a few important goals here and there. George Honeyman as well, again another youngster, came through the ranks and always gave his all for the club. I was a bit surprised when we sold him at the time, but you know, he's probably a League One player at best, but he's holding his own at this level so far with Millwall. He's been at Hull as well, so bit of a combative midfielder, but he'll be wanting to do well against Sunderland at the weekend, and will Watmore if he's playing, no doubt about it. Their top players this season, Jaffa Tenganga, who they signed from Tottenham, Joe Bryan and Ryan Leonard. Duncan Watmore is their top scorer with 5 goals, followed by Romain Esse and Jake Cooper. And Honeyman is their top assist scorer with 3. McCoy Longstaff, who you might remember we were linked with when he was playing for Gateshead in Notts County a couple of years ago. He's got 2, along with Femi Azid. You know, so is there a chance that these, you know, ex-Sunderland players could have an effect on the result? We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we go into the game 9 unbeaten. Still top of the league, of course, on goal difference, but I think we're very much under the cosh. I think, you know, we've got massive selection issues at the minute. Trai Hume, Roberts, Jobe all suspended. Romain, Mundle, Alan Browne injury doubts as well. We have looked out of sorts in the last 3 games. I think playing only 1 good half of football against Coventry in the first half, but we still managed to throw away a 2-0 lead at half time before the break there. And I think Regis Le Bris, for the first time, certainly from me, I've questioned him a little bit. For the first time in his career, you know, his substitutions and tactics in the last few weeks have been a bit iffy, if I'm honest. Bit sketchy. You know, that switch to a back 3 against Coventry clearly didn't work, and cost us 2 points in the end. So the team on Saturday, you know, with the issues that we have, I mean, of course, this all depends if Romain, Mundle and Alan Browne are going to be fit. we have the chance of going to a back three, but it's something which I don't really want to do, if I'm honest, based on that second half performance against Coventry. So we could possibly go in a few different ways at the weekend. We could switch to a 9 to right back, with Dan Barrall coming in at centre back. Milan Alexic could make his debut in midfield, with Abdullah Bar playing on the right and Watson on the left. Or we could switch to a back three, with Dan Barrall coming in at centre back, with Zach Johnson and Dennis Surton as wing backs. Adil Elshish could come into the midfield, with Eliza Mayenda, Parton, Wilson Isidore up front. Now this is the way I would go. This would be my team selection on Saturday. I would bring Zach Johnson at right back. I would bring Dan Ballard in at centre back and push Luke O'Nien into Dan Neil's position, allowing Dan Neil to move into his more favoured position, with Barton and Watson on the wings and Wilson Isidore up front. Now that's the way I would go, but I think that Regis Le Bris will want to limit the changes, and I think this is the team that I think we will play. I think we'll probably keep the same formation. I think Zach Johnson will come in at right back for Trai Hume. Adil Elshish will play in the middle for Alan Browne, and Tommy Watson in for Roberts. Wilson Isidore will move out to the left hand side, with Aaron Conley playing up front. Now for me, I wouldn't play Aaron Conley. I think we need pace up front, and I prefer Wilson in the middle. That's why I will keep him there, but I just think that Regis Le Bris will limit the changes. I think that's the side that we will play. Like I said, it all depends if Alan Browne and Romain Mundle are fit, but given the fact that Bart and Elshish didn't play for the under-21s during the week, says to me they're going to be involved at some point during the game. But let me know what your thoughts are. What would your team be on Saturday? Who would you bring in? Would you change the formation? I'd love to know what your thoughts are. It's always a good discussion of who you will play and who you wouldn't you play. So stick it in the comments below and we'll have a look at them. Now score predictions, I think based on the issues that we are facing and how well Millwall are playing, I think a draw. I'd be more than happy with a draw, to be honest with you. It's a tough place to go. They make you about as welcome as a fart in an astronaut suit at the den. It's horrible. So on that basis, I'm going to go for Millwall 1, Sunderland 1, take a point, get back up the road, and we'll take it from there. I always say if you can take points away from home and win your home games, that'll get you promoted. So a point at Millwall will do me just fine. But don't forget to submit your score predictions below in the comments for a chance to get on the leaderboard for that shirt competition. I updated that in the last video, so if you haven't watched it, if you haven't seen it, watch it here. Other games at the weekend are like this, and so Plymouth are playing Watford on Friday night, 8 o'clock. Burnley are away at Bristol City, 12:30 on Saturday afternoon. So are Sheffield United are away at Coventry, 12:30 on Saturday afternoon. Hoping Coventry can continue the form. Apparently Frank Lampard's close for taking over there. So I'm hoping that following that good second half performance against us, they can take them into the game and beat Sheffield United at the weekend. West Brom are playing Norwich Saturday at 3 o'clock, and Swansea are playing Leeds Sunday at 3 o'clock. So some interesting games there over the weekend. So hopefully we can be staying top, but we'll have to wait and see how the games pan out. And just a quick look at the league table as well. As you can see, we are top, played 15, 31 points, goal difference of 14. Sheffield United on the same points, goal difference of plus 12. Then we've got Leeds, who could go above us as well if we slip up at Millwall. They are on 29 points, a goal difference of plus 15. And then we've got Burnley on 27, West Brom on 25 and Watford on 25. So, like I explained on the last video, like I said, seems like an age ago, I have joined up with Fanatics, the club's official retail partner. I have put some links in the description below of what the offers are this week. Just click on them, it'll take you straight to the page with where the offers are. And with Black Friday and Christmas coming up, there might be a chance to get yourself some bargains. So all the links are all in the description below for that. Also as well, the Retro Hub have got offers on too. The links to that are also in the description below. I think it's Christmas 10 at the checkout. You get a 10% discount for anything from the Retro Hub. Some great merchandise on there. But please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. For whatever reason, subs have gone down by 50 in the last week. I don't know whether it's because it's been no videos or because there's just, people just getting sick. But if you can, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. watch out for the match review coming out on Saturday night, where hopefully we've took points from Millwall. But in the meantime, I always say thanks for watching. Take it easy, stay safe, and we'll speak soon. Ta-ra.